What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on a recent video I watched of Jason Whitlock, right? And Jason Whitlock basically, he basically said that Deion Sanders and LeBron James were the ultimate ring chasers, right? And just a bunch of hype. And so I want to listen to I want to play what Jason Whitlock said, and I want to comment on it. Some of what Jason Whitlock said I agree with, and some of it I don't agree with, and I just want to react to what Jason Whitlock said about LeBron James and Deion Sanders.
There's might be, other than Muhammad Ali, the most influential and toxic athlete in the history of American sports. And I say that people are, are you calling Muhammad Ali toxic? Yes. And here's Muhammad Ali was authentic with his beliefs. He was attached to a religious organization. He had these religious feelings and faith, and he tried to adhere to those. But in everybody trying to mimic Muhammad Ali, none of these guys that all want to be the next Muhammad Ali, they're not attached to a religious organization. They're not doing things authentically based on faith. They're just mimicking.
Before I go on with more of this video, I don't know that I don't see LeBron James trying to mimic Muhammad Ali. And I don't see Deion Sanders trying to mimic Muhammad Ali. Only thing I think Deion Sanders had in common with Muhammad Ali is Deion Sanders was not afraid to say that he was the greatest, as far as like being the best, cornerback, right? Deion Sanders wasn't afraid to say that. And I usually don't go for players like boasting and bragging, but Deion Sanders was the exception to the rule. Deion Sanders could back up everything, he could back it up. So if Deion Sanders said he was the greatest cornerback, he backed it up in my opinion, and so that's the way I feel about Deion Sanders and LeBron James. But I'm gonna play some more of Jason Whitlock so I can react to it.
Muhammad Ali. And Deion Sanders is a part of that mimic act. Loudmouth, hey, look at me, draw all the attention himself, no different than Muhammad Ali, but he ain't attached to nothing real. He's making up his form of Christianity on his own. And he's making a form of Christianity that fits his radical materialism and fits his inability to satiate his own ego. And so I want to, we look at LeBron James and call him a ring chaser and say, he's ruined the NBA. LeBron James is actually following in Deion Sanders' footsteps. Let me remind some of you younger folks and folks my age that have just forgotten. What was Deion's NFL history? What's his real legacy in the NFL? Not the hype. Oh my God, he's the greatest defensive back in the history of the NFL. There's some football players that will tell you that's not true. Rod Woodson, at the very least, and a couple others, better than Deion Sanders as a defense.
All right, Rod Woodson, right? Rod Woodson was a bad dude. I dig Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was more physical than Deion, a better tackler than Deion. I think Deion was he was more flashy than Rod Woodson. Like if Deion caught an interception, he was going to go the other way with it. So yeah, but I really dig Rod Woodson. He used to play later in his career. He wound up playing for the Ravens, and they won a Super Bowl here. So I really dig Rod Woodson. But let Jason Whitlock continue.
defensive back as someone that could play corner. Rod Woodson was very physical. Deion wasn't. But anyway, Deion and the hype machine and the branding and the marketing put him in the conversation for the greatest defensive player of all time. And people that actually follow the game was like, that's a joke. He was a great cover corner.
Great cover, right.
But greatest defensive player? Stop it. There's an athlete right now in the National Basketball Association in his 20th season or 21st, I can't remember, that has branded and hyped his way into the GOAT conversation. He's right there with Michael Jordan. He's above Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Bill Russell and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's right there in the GOAT conversation with Michael Jordan. No, he's not.
You know what?
But
when LeBron James came out and said that he felt like he was the best basketball player to have ever played. Personally, as a fan, I was offended. You know, number one, I don't like I just said, I don't like athletes like crowning themselves the best. I think that's for the fans. That's for people in the media, but it's not for I didn't think it was LeBron's place to say that. And then on top of that, I don't, in my opinion, it just wasn't true. So that's how I felt about LeBron when he came out and said he was the greatest.
Following Deion Sanders' footsteps, he's worked his way into that conversation. Deion's been cherry picking titles and jumping team to team his entire career. He'll do whatever the money says and wherever he thinks the most glory is. That's Deion Sanders.
You know what? When Deion Sanders, when he first came to the NFL, Deion Sanders played for the Atlanta Falcons, right? And him and Andre Rison, it was something good to see. It was great to see. They were very entertaining. Then Deion Sanders from there, I think he went to either the Cowboys or the 49ers. I don't know which one he went to first. But when he went there, he won rings with both of those teams, Super Bowl rings. But at the time, I never really thought or seen Deion as a ring chaser. But Jason Whitlock, he makes a good point. So I can see how people would see Deion as a ring chaser. But is it different in football? Because you got to think of football, you have very seldom, like you don't have like one person that can really make a difference on a football team. You got, you have like, unless they're the quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback, running. I have seen great running backs who couldn't even get their team, through the playoffs. So, I didn't see that. For that reason, I didn't see Deion as as a ring chaser. Now, basketball is different. When you got somebody who's a franchise type ball player who just, who want to go and surround themselves with the best talent so they can have the best team and win. That's different. I would consider that ring chaser in basketball, especially for a franchise ball player. Somebody like Robert Horry. Like, is Robert Horry a ring chaser? Yeah, he is, but people, I could say, because Robert Horry, he had a special talent, special set of skills that he brought to every team. He played really good defense, and he could hit the big shot when the team needed it. Could he be considered a ring chaser? Yeah, but people really didn't pay that any attention because it was Robert Horry and not Kobe or Shaq or somebody like that. So that's why I think people look at Robert Horry different than they would any other ball player. Like I would say, like a franchise ball player like Kevin Durant or LeBron James. But let me let Jason Whitlock continue.
That's who LeBron James is. LeBron James will do whatever the money says, and wherever he thinks the most glory is, and wherever he thinks the easiest path to another title is. He learned this from Deion Sanders. We're trashing LeBron James. A lot of people are. He's not Michael Jordan, and he's just a ring chaser, and I don't respect LeBron, blah, blah, blah. Where'd he get it from? Where'd he learn it from? Well, what have we promoted in sports culture? Have we not? all genuflected in front of Deion Sanders, and he's the greatest thing in the world, and he's the guy that all the athletes in all sports, the black athletes, he's their godfather, he's their mentor.
I don't know that LeBron James is following Deion Sanders' lead, right? Number one, they play two totally different sports. That's number one. Number two, Deion Sanders, I don't know how much of an effect he had on basketball players, like basketball players coming up, because Mike and Kobe, I would say, will be more so of LeBron James' idol, because they played in the era just before. They played the same sport and in the era just before LeBron James, right? So it would be Kobe. He probably looked up to Kobe. Then he looked up to Mike and whoever else played during Mike era that, that LeBron may have liked. He may have liked Magic Johnson because that's who his game is more so patterned after, Magic Johnson. But to blame that on Deion, I don't think, I don't think that's. I think Jason Whitlock, he got like a special. He got a bone to pick. For some reason, it seemed like he got a bone to pick with Deion. But I'll continue.
The guy you could all learn from. Don't you all want to be just like Deion Sanders? Money, money, money. Don't you want to define yourself by money, money, money? Constantly, no substance, just money, money, money.
Pretty much everyone I know sleeps on their side. Let me show you how to do it so you're not.
All right, I'm gonna turn this down. There it is.
Deion Sanders, and I hear everybody. I want to play you Mike Fish. Is it Fish or Mike Fisher? I think it's Mike Fisher. Maybe they call him Fish. Mike Fish covered the Cowboys for years. I want to play a clip of him last night on his podcast talking about how, hey, Deion's just leveraging the Cowboys with CU. I respect Mike. I respect all these reporters that have covered the Cowboys for years. Their instincts are probably better than mine. But I'm not sure if they fully accept who Deion is. He's Simon Cowell. He's the American Idol. He's one of the strongest forces in the history of television. And wherever the ratings, paycheck, glory, attention goes is where you will find Deion Sanders. And if you...
Is that true? Now, I mean, there's some truth to that. I can say that, like, Deion Sanders, he chased that bag, and he'll make... And is he wrong for chasing the bag? He don't make no... he don't make no apologies for going after the bag. He want to be able to take care of himself and take care of his family. So he don't really... And I don't think he need to make any apologies for that. So I can see that there's some truth to that, Deion chasing the bag. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Look at what happened this year at Colorado. They were still a talking point in college football. But it wasn't like it was in year one. It started to dissipate. And so when guys like Simon Cowell, American Idol is starting to go stale, let me go start something else. Let me go start America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, and I'll take me and my personality, and I'll take the ratings there. That's a real possibility for Deion Sanders, in my view, because that's who he's proven to be year after year. He doesn't stay anywhere long. There's no reason for him to stay at Colorado. His sons are gone. I don't know if he really wants to do the hard work of building another team without Travis Hunter, without his son at quarterback. We shall see. But when I get online, I want to know that I'm safe from people trying to...
Do you think that Deion will stay at Colorado once his son's gone? Let me answer that question also, because he might just roll out because his sons are gone. He might just roll out. We'll see.
Talking about Deion leveraging the Cowboys. Play the clip.
For instance, the Deion thing. The Deion thing accomplished exactly what it was meant to accomplish so far. Sources tell me that he's in contract negotiations with Colorado to stay there. And that this Cowboy thing was, not that there's zero chance of Deion, that this Cowboy thing was not driven by Deion coaching the Cowboys. It was driven by Deion coaching the Buffaloes, but getting more money to do it. And the next thing you know, ESPN TV, my understanding is, spent the entire day talking about the Cowboys, Deion, and Jerry. So everybody got exactly what they wanted, all three parties. Deion got what he wanted, leverage. Jerry got what he wanted, headlines. And ESPN got to fill the time because they can't always talk about Caitlin Clark and LeBron James. You got to put 45 minutes of Cowboys into every hour as well.
Mike, it's a TV show, brother. And if do you know the history of TV? Cliffhangers and just incredible things they'll do to a script, unbelievable things. I never thought they would do X, Y. Who shot J.R. Ewing? I can't. They shot J.R. Ewing. Did he die? Oh, they brought him back to life, or it was all what?
So he's saying that Deion could leverage the Cowboys to get more money from Colorado. But I wouldn't be surprised if Deion left Colorado and went to the Cowboys as a coach, and maybe his son or one of his sons, him and his sons, end up at the Cowboys.
Brought him back to life. But I'm just telling you, these TV shows, they'll do anything. They're capable of bringing Deion Sanders back to the NFL, letting him pretend like he's an NFL head coach. And then if it doesn't work out, they'll just, it was all a dream. He was at Colorado the whole time, and they'll send him back to Colorado, or they'll send him out to pasture. But Deion, trust me, at the end of it, Deion's going to have a big bag of cash, because that's all that matters. And I get that Deion's probably trying to leverage Colorado, but Deion's always trying to leverage everybody. And the NFL and the television networks would love nothing more than Deion Sanders to join the NFL and watch those. There might be 50 million, 60 million people.
That would be big money. That would be box office right there. Because if you think about it, when Deion first went to Colorado, I don't know how much his contract was, but they didn't have enough money at the beginning of his contract to pay him. But by the time that fourth game rolled around for the Colorado Buffaloes, they had made that money and some more. You know, they had enough money to pay Deion Sanders, right? Imagine if Deion Sanders went to the Cowboys, man, just how much buzz that would be for the NFL, for the Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be must-see TV. I mean, just like I said, within the first few games, man, they like it'll be through the roof. And so with Jerry Jones being the kind of businessman that he is, the astute businessman that he is, and Deion Sanders being the businessman that he is, I mean, it would be a win-win situation. Then on top of that, if he get his son in the league, and his son, you know, his son can really play football. You know, he's a better football player than LeBron's son is, way better. You know, so he's a legitimate football player, and I mean, like it would be. It's not like, you know, it's a push or a stretch, or, you know, his son may make the team, may not make the team, may not be good enough to play. His son is good enough to play at that level. Now, whether he'll have some success, whether they'll put, you know, at that level, who knows? But his son is good enough to play at that level, unlike LeBron James' son, who is not good enough to play at the, you know, professional level. But if Deion Sanders went to Dallas, they would make so much money. I know Deion knows that, and Jerry Jones knows that. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Watching the Cowboys season opener if Deion Sanders is the head coach. Shamika just helped me out. The chat is saying Bobby died and they said it was a dream. Yeah. Bobby died and they said it was a dream on Dallas. Yeah. Maybe in the chat. Shamika, keep monitoring the chat. I may ask you about at the end. What are some of the greatest plot twists in the history of television? Deion's about to rival them all, in my opinion. He's the ultimate ring chaser. He's the ultimate American Idol. He laid the foundation for all that we see in sports right now that many of us don't like.
You know what, though? All right, so yeah, Deion Sanders. I mean, I don't disagree that Deion Sanders is a ring chaser, right? But he also Deion Sanders is also must-see TV, even as a coach. You know, like who tunes in to see a coach? You know, he just knows how to. He's great at branding and marketing, and so I think this opportunity for him to go to Dallas or anywhere in the NFL, anywhere he go in the NFL as a coach, that's just going to be a bigger bag for him. It's going to be a bigger bag for him, and you can't really blame him. Ring chasing, yeah, I could say he's a ring chaser, and I'm not mad at him for being a ring chaser, especially in football. You know, because like I said, it takes so many different people and so many different parts for a team to become a championship team at that, you know, at the NFL level. Is, you know, you can't just get one player and think, okay, this guy we could. Aaron Rodgers couldn't do it, and Tom Brady like is the exception to the rule. And even when he went to Tampa Bay, Tom Brady had, you know, he took Gronk with him, and he had, you know, he had some weapons down there, you know, Tom Brady did. But then they still, you know, you still got the defensive side of the ball and you got special team. So it wasn't just Tom Brady, but, you know, a great quarterback, you know, having a great quarterback helped Tampa Bay that year. But yeah, man, I just think that Deion Sanders, man, is just the ultimate when it comes to marketing, branding, and promoting himself. Deion Sanders has been doing this ever since college, maybe even high school, who knows, but you know, and it's worked for him. And he's, like I said, one of the few players that can do this and get away with it, be as boastful and bragging the way he do, and back it up. You know, he always backs it up. You know, and so I hope he do go to the I hope he do go to the NFL. I wouldn't be mad at him because it'd just be a chance for him to just make more money and promote his son, both his sons, and the other kid. What's the other kid? Travis Hunter. Yeah, man. That's my take on it. I don't fully disagree with Jason Whitlock though, but I don't see nothing wrong either with what Deion is doing. So that's my take on it. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.